Okay, I know we said we had the fan wiring problem fixed before, but the issue I ran into is it was coming on, but I noticed the other day, and I didn't notice it before, but it wasn't as loud as it should be, as I had heard it before when I had it jumped. So today I jumped it, and yes, it was definitely louder. So the way we had it going, I checked the voltage to it. It was only getting 6.5 volts. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So after pulling the fuse box out and chasing a bunch of wires around, it occurred to me that they might use a resistor. So I did a little online searching and found that under here they have mounted these two resistors for the cooling fans, the original 2 cooling fans. And as you can see, them wires ain't that good anymore. So this goes down, it goes through the firewall right above the glove box. So my original plan when I had found out about this was, oh, I'll just make a jumper that will plug. You know, you could just put it on one of the resistors and put both of the terminals on either one of those lugs, so that way you're not messing with the original wiring of the car or anything. If someone wanted to switch it back, all they'd have to do is pull the jumper out, reattach the lugs to the resistors, and bang, you're back in business. But after I found this and saw those wires, I'm thinking, we're going to pull them, we're going to disconnect them and pull them. Actually, we're just going to cut them off and pull them through the glove box and wire it from there. I mean, if we do get back down in here where fan 1 actually has some wires that don't look burned up, we'll just J-hook them together and solder them and put heat shrink over them. So that'll be the permanent fix for that, and we'll leave it someplace where if someone is looking for them in the future, they'll be able to find them. Okay, that should get our fan running at full speed. I haven't had it running long enough to notice it get hot or anything, so I just happened to notice that it was not as loud as I remembered it being for some reason. So yeah, that'll fix that. Then we'll have our fan running at 100%, and it'll be happy and cool the coolant and everything. Still waiting on our front springs to redo the front suspension to get it up high enough in the air. They should be here tomorrow. More on that one tomorrow. Okay, so we pulled our fan 1 and fan 2 resistor wires through the glove box here. I mean, if you never did this before, the glove box is just a box, quite literally. And I think it's held in with 2 screws, and you just pull it out. It clamps in. That black thing back there is a clamp for it. So anyway, here's our wires. We determined that this black and red one here goes out to our fan, and this white with red, little thin red stripe on it, comes from the fuse box where the fan 1 relay originally plugged in. So this is fan 1 relay out, would have went through the 0.6 ohm resistor and then onto the fan to make it run slow. So since we don't want our fan to run slow, we're just going to solder J-hook both of these, then crimp them together, then solder them, and well, before we solder them together, we'll put the shrink tubing over there, so then when we're done soldering, we can just slide it over and shrink it down. So that'll be a nice, good permanent fix. And the fan, these are the fan 2 resistor wires. I think for right now we're just going to, I suppose we could J-hook them together, but I don't really, well, yeah, if we did that, then sometime in the future, if someone put original fans in there and just pop the relay back in there, both fans would work, except they would not run slow, but they would work just fine. So maybe we'll do that, because the last thing you want to do when you're doing something like this is create a wiring disaster for someone further down the road. That's one sure way to have your car end up in the junkyard, is if someone after me gets a hold of it and says, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it original and it's going to be cool and everything. If they start having nightmare wiring problems and stuff is wired outside of factory specs and they can't figure it out, they're going to give up on it, because wiring is something that most mechanics really don't want to deal with. I mean, I've been working on electronics for 45 years and I've wired whole cars, you know, for, you know, people I know who have shops and stuff, and, you know, I've done my own stuff too, but that's why a car like this, the wiring is actually in really good shape. Those resistor wires were like the worst thing that I've seen on this car by far. There's nothing even close to anywhere near that bad, and they just got that bad because they take a lot of heat right next to the resistors, so we skinned them back far enough that we have some decent wire, and we'll solder them together. And I mounted the resistors back in there, so if anyone looks for them in the future, they're still right there. And I left a couple inches of the wire on there so they know that the wires were fried, and then they can probably figure that, hey, somebody probably just pulled the wires through the firewall and jumped them together. Boom. Easy thing to figure out for the future. Okay, we finished our fan wiring work under the dash here. Got some solder mess to clean up. Luckily this is the back side of the mat. Here we are. Got fan 1 all wired, soldered together, all shrinked up, and fan 2 just in case someone in the future wants to use it. As a side benefit, that hole that harness went through for the resistor is also big enough for the MSD controller. So now we can figure out something to get it to attach to here, because it'd be nice if it was right about there. That way we could look at it while we're in the car. More on that one later. Let's just see what happens here. Now the MSD provides a ground to the fan, so I have this wire hooked to the fan right now, and this jumper cable connected to the battery. So there we go. That's what it should sound like. That's blowing some serious air now. Okay. One problem fixed. 1 million to go.